Hello everyone, I'm just putting together a short video to show you how to use your calculator in section chapter 7.2, estimating the mean when the population standard deviation sigma is unknown. So here's an example of that type of question. Here they collected data to try and age a site, and these are using the true ring dating method, and these are the various ages in which they're going to use to estimate the average age of that site. So first thing we do is we hit start, then we hit edit, and then you type in your data. So in this case it's going to be it's going to be 1264. And then you just basically type in your data one at a time. Try not to make too many mistakes. Actually, try to not make any. That'd be good. Takes a little bit of time, but essentially what's going to happen here is that when we're finished, we'll have stored all this data in column L1. And that's kind of what we need to move on to the next phase, where we're going to let the calculator use a student t-distribution, which is essentially the sampling distribution when sigma is unknown, and to come up with a 90% confidence interval. And there we go, that's the data in. So just to remind you where I got that, start, number one, edit. Right, so the data is now in L1. And we only really have one more step to do. We're going to go start, we're going to scroll over to tests, and then we're going to scroll down. And the guy we're looking for is just out of sight. It's number 8, t-interval, single t-interval. So we've got to hit enter. Now there are two choices in t-intervals. Most of the time you're going to be using this choice here, which says you're going to get the information of the data, you're going to get it from a list of numbers stored in L1. And occasionally, but only occasionally, you're going to use this choice, which is stats. And in this case, you're told what the mean and standard deviation, including how big the sample is. So let's go back to data, the one we want. So you make sure it's on data. List L1 tells it where to find it, and that's exactly where I put it. Leave that guy alone. And in this case, we're going to change it to 0.90. And then, when I hit calculate, we should have everything that we need. Let's check that. Since we're being asked to do the mean and standard deviation to 4 decimal places, here is the mean, 1275, lots of 4s, goes in here. Here's the standard deviation, 34.2677. That's it rounded off. In the case of the confidence interval, which is this interval up here, to the nearest whole number, because that's what they ask us to do, the small value is 1254, and the large value rounds up to 1297. That's pretty much the end of that question. I hope this has been of use.